You have questions?
What is slashing?
We have answers.
Slashing is, like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. And, there's a penalty for that?
Yeah. You do that, you go to the box, 2 minutes by yourself, and you feel shame, and then you get free.
This is CBJ in 30.
Anything you folks want to know about the fascinating world of pro hockey, here we go.
Tweet your questions by using the hashtag CBJIN30.
We'd like to remind you folks, keep your questions within the boundaries of good taste.
Here's your host, Bob McGilligan.
And welcome to Nationwide Arena. Today, it is CBJ in 30. It is December the 19th. It's a Friday. It's the end of the work week. Well, for most. The Blue Jackets won't be at the end of their work week. They have to play tomorrow night. But in any event, it's a big day here at Nationwide Arena. As you can see, I am doing the show. I moved to a different location today. How about Santa's chair? Is that gutsy or what? Sit right in Santa's chair and do the show. Great backdrop here. The Christmas tree. We are in the Christmas spirit. And today, it's really a big festive day here at work for us today, because today is the annual Christmas luncheon and Christmas sweater, ugly Christmas sweater contest. Now, I will admit, I had a bunch of ugly sweaters that when we moved from Syracuse to Columbus, a lot of those things went by the wayside. A lot of stuff went out. I mean, a dumpster full of stuff went out when we made that move. Oh, by the way, let me warn you, it's going to be it's going to be noisy here because they're preparing in the main concourse here in the Bud Light Plaza for this luncheon today. So they're cleaning, they're setting up all this stuff. So just bear with me. It's just one of those days, I'm bringing you right into it. And the ambiance is going to be here. In fact, you can probably already hear the ambiance. See what I mean? And I'm probably in their way. They probably want to clean. Can't get that done. That's all right. That's the way it goes. So anyway, here, let me let this thing go by. If it does go by anytime soon. All right, that'll do. So anyway, it's the ugly sweater contest. So I had a lot of stuff to choose from before, but to be honest with you, it probably wouldn't fit me anymore anyhow. So I did get this today. Let me see. What do you think of this thing? It's a thing of beauty, isn't it? And I think there's stuff on the back and everything. So there you go. I'm as set up as you can be. Jody Shelley and I have to MC this contest today. So that should be fun. Can't wait to see what he has on. And I warn you right now, this is going to be an abbreviated version of today's show. For the days I've given you more than I was supposed to, today I'm giving you less. It all balances out, but the reason is because we've got to get ready for this emceeing of this luncheon today, and also Jody and I are going to go film a Christmas package for BlueJackets.com that you can look forward to seeing here in the next couple of days. So I'll just give you the fair warning right out of the gate. That's what's going on here today, but why not a nice, relaxing seat at Santa's chair here today, and get ready to talk about what happened last night. And what happened last night, it was naughty. It was not nice. The Blue Jackets finally had their winning streak snapped, and they had it snapped by the Washington Capitals last night. Final score was 5-4 in overtime. When you score 4 times, it should be enough to win. It isn't always that way, and it wasn't that way for the Blue Jackets last night. And they had opportunities. They started badly. They came back. They were down 2-0 after the first period, and Jason Chimera scored in the final minute of the first period to give the Capitals that 2-0 lead. It was not a great start, and I was surprised by that. I was really surprised. As well as this team's been playing as of late, and the way that they have gone out and really set the tone for games, even on the road, I was surprised that they weren't exactly ready to go here last night. But they weren't, and they paid the price for it, and they went down 2-0. But to their credit, it's all been about resilience in this streak for the Blue Jackets. And they came back, and they did that with 2 power play goals, one of those by Jack Johnson, the other one by Nick Foligno. And all of a sudden it was a 2-2 game. They were right back into it. Then there were some fights. Dalton Prout leading the way in the roughhousing department. There were a couple of fights there, and everything was going well. And then in the third period, the Blue Jackets had a couple of chances to win. 2 times they had a 1-goal lead late in the third period. Neither time could they close it out. Troy Brouwer winds up putting in the 4th goal for the Capitals off a skate. It counts. They've kind of tweaked the rules, and these are goals that they're going to allow this year, redirected off the skate as long as it's not a distinct kicking motion. So that one counted, and lo and behold, the Blue Jackets were in a tie. They went to overtime for a 5th straight game, and then they wound up losing, and they lost quickly. in the overtime period as Mike Green was allowed to skate around. In a 4-on-4, when you have a defenseman like Mike Green who handles the puck well, he skates well, you don't want to give him a lot of space. There is more space out there than normal because you have one less player per side, but you don't want to let him decide where he's going to go and what he's going to do. The Blue Jackets allowed him to do that, unfortunately, and he set up Eric Fair for the game winner last night. All right, so let's take the positives out of that game last evening as we go right back into the fray here as the ambiance returns. Hold on. Hold that thought. Okay. Does it get any more real than this, by the way? Let's take the positives out of that game. Winning streak ends. Yes, that's true. But the point streak continues. The Blue Jackets have now picked up points in 8 straight games. They do get one last night. So, again, I've talked repeatedly about 3-point games and the desire to see 2-point games. 2 or 0, I still prefer that, but the rules are what they are right now, so take the 1 point and feel good about it. You've gotten points in 8 straight games. All right, so you've got that going for you. The other thing is Michael Chaput scored his first NHL goal last night. It put the Blue Jackets up at that point. What was the score at that point? Was that the 4-3 at that point for the Blue Jackets? So first NHL goal from Michael Chaput. We've talked repeatedly about the fourth line not getting any offensive production. Jared Boll, Michael Chaput, Corey Tropp. None had been able to get a goal, and finally it came last night. Boll assisted on the goal. Matt Calvert shot the puck. It went off Jared Boll over to Michael Chaput, and it was a really sharp angle shot. He was going away from the net when he put that puck back on net. So it was a great goal for him. I've told you how much I like this kid. I love how he works. I love his attitude. I love everything about the way he plays the game, and I was very happy to see him get that goal last night. I had a chance to catch up with him after the game and talk about his first NHL goal. Michael, big goal for you tonight, and I know it comes in this overtime loss effort, but how good does it feel? You've been out there, and you've had so many chances, and you've gotten so close to watch that one hit the back of the net. What was the feeling like for you?
It felt awesome. I just shot the puck thinking really nothing of it, just put it on net and went in. It was just a great feeling.
Yeah, and it looked like you were almost kind of going away from the net when you took that shot, so that was a much more difficult shot than one might think.
Yeah, exactly. It was going away from the net. I almost had nothing on it. I just threw it on net, and good things happen when you just put it on net.
First period, you guys didn't have your game with you, and they took advantage of it. They got up to a 2-0 lead. What was talked about in between the first and second periods? What changed not necessarily the mindset, but the way you came out and played after that?
I think we just, we kind of came out flat. We just told ourselves, let's go out there with energy, get some more emotions into the game. And I think the guys, we responded really well. But, obviously going down 2-0 it's hard to come back from. We battled back, but it just wasn't enough at the end.
Yeah, and they just kept on coming. And unfortunately, that's a team is going to keep on battling right until the final horn.
Definitely, they're one of the top teams in the league, and I think they can score goals. Obviously, they know how to score, and it just, tonight we came up short by 1.
Going back to your goal for just a minute, Jared Boll got an assist on that, and you guys as a fourth line, and Corey Tropp wasn't out there at that point, but as a fourth line, have you been putting a lot more pressure on yourselves to generate points and get some offense going? I know your job is mainly to check, but here we are 30-some games into the season, nobody had a goal. Had you talked about that, or was the thought there for all of you guys?
We kind of just told ourselves to let's start getting pucks to the net, crash the net, see what happens. Obviously, when we can contribute like that, it's good for the team. It helps the top 3 lines out. And I think, Calvi made a great play, so did Bowler. We went in there, forechecked, and we got a goal. It was good for us. So that's Michael Chaput picking up his first NHL goal in last night's overtime loss to the Washington Capitals. He mentioned Matt Calvert. I thought he had a good game last night. I thought he was scrappy. I thought he was very hard on the puck, and that's usually the type of game he plays, night in and night out. But I thought he was really important for the Blue Jackets last night, and just the way that he approached it and the way he was able to take the puck away on the wall from guys that are bigger than him, and I'm talking about in physical stature, but also guys like Alex Ovechkin that have great offensive skill. Matt Calvert wasted no time stepping into those guys last night, putting the body on them, and taking the puck away from them. So it was fun to watch his game last night. And again, he's part of Michael Chaput getting that first goal of his NHL career. Had a chance to catch up with defenseman Kevin Connauton after last night's game, too. The Blue Jackets losing in overtime to the Washington Capitals.
How do you all move away from this game? Probably stinging a little bit, I'd imagine, but also you get a point out of it.
When you come out slow, teams are too good in this league to give them any kind of break, especially the way we let them get ahead of us in the first 20 there. And we were able to battle back, but unfortunately in the third they got that bounce off the skate. And then yeah, if you don't play a full 60, you can't expect to win.
That's the lesson moving away from this one, just the start there and the issues.
Yeah, you got to be ready to play every night, right at the drop of the puck in the first. So I think, take the positive out. We show that we can come back. And, whenever we're down a couple of goals, we still have the belief in the room that we can make something happen. But fortunately, that first 20, I think, kind of hurt us tonight.
Here I am worrying about where the microphone is sitting and not turning the microphone on, actually. So there we go. Yeah, he's right. It was a start. That was the difference in the game tonight. There's no question about that. And, we haven't heard those kind of things from the Blue Jackets lately. We haven't heard about the slow starts and we've got to be better at the beginning of the games. That's something that was going on repeatedly when they lost 15 out of 17. But we haven't heard that recently. And hopefully we're not going to hear it again anytime soon. But that start did cost them. And he's right. There are positives. Being able to come back and get back into the game and all that stuff, that was all great. But when it's all said and done, your streak is over, and you only get 1 point instead of 2 against the team you were chasing. Here's head coach Todd Richards after last night's overtime loss.
Period wasn't good. I think once we got engaged in the game, some emotion, scored the goal on the power play, and then there was some physical stuff in the second, and that drew us into the game. And then our game was a lot better from that point. Just disappointed, I think, the way the game ended, because we had 2 leads, 2 opportunities to earn a win in regulation. So, it leaves you with a little bitter taste, just because there are opportunities there.
Todd, can you pause now, because this streak is over, at least to some degree, and say, okay, that section was good. We kind of got ourselves at least back in a position to challenge for a playoff spot.
I'm sorry.
That you're back in position. Look back on the last day.
It's tough right now. Just begin the emotions of this game, and for me, it's not reflecting too far back. The players have done a great job. They really have, because it takes a commitment. It takes a on off the ice during games, during practices, and they earned all the wins and the success here during the month of December, and it has put us back. And hope is a powerful thing. And we're in a position, and the players have done that, but now we got to go out and win more hockey games.
Have you had a chance to look at their fourth goal that went in off the skate of
I did.
Brouwer?
I
Thoughts?
Did. It's we went over that in meetings, and to me, that's exactly kind of what they talked about. He directed it with his foot. I don't think he kicked at it. He saw the puck coming, and he made a play on it. Yeah, that's my. I come out disappointed, and but based on what I was told at the start of the year, that those are the goals that are going to be good goals.
Notwithstanding the night that Foligno had, but his line of him, Morin, and Gibbons before Gibbons went down seemed to really be generating some buzz, some chances around the net. Did you want to see more of that from some of the other lines?
I would like to see more of that from everyone. We had spurts where we were good. First period we weren't good at all. We weren't engaged into the game, and we spotted them 2 goals, and then our power play stepped up, and we were more involved in the game. And then I felt, we're getting contributions from more people.
Todd, what was the explanation on the splitting of Savard's stick right in the middle of his hands by an opposing player? What was the explanation given?
There was no explanation to me, but based on what I saw, I believe he was saying he was in the act of shooting, and maybe the flex of the stick and along with the contact of it, and I don't think they deemed it a slash. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was late in the third period, and he was coming across his own blue line, looking to pass.
Yeah.
The opposing, and his stick was broken right between his hands.
Yeah. No, that's the play. That's the same play. That, at least from what I remember.
You discussed his line, but Foligno's play in particular, and what's been working for him, Todd?
Going to the net. He's been skating and working. You know, he had some great opportunities in Detroit the game before. He's big and strong enough to fend guys off, and he's got good puck skills where, you know, he's able to make plays and beat you. So there's a couple different ways that he can beat you, but, you know, tonight, power play being around the net, and, you know, his second goal, simple play, just going to the net and getting a rebound.
We've heard a lot of talk about speeches he gives and that sort of thing. Just what he contributes in terms of intangibles. Is he one of the leaders of this team?
I think so. I think he's one of the guys. That's why he's, you know, with certain guys out of the lineup, he's worn an A. So he speaks in the locker room. He encourages guys and challenges guys, and that's what you want from your players.
Seems like Dalton Proud is looking to be more physical and fighting now for the past, I don't know, month or so. Has he become a better defenseman with that element in his game, or more prevalent in his game?
I don't think guys are going out and looking, you know, to fight or anything like that, but the physicality part of it, and I think I've said this before in front of you guys, is when you get physical and there's whether you're getting hit or giving a hit, and there's that involvement in the game, it just drives up the intensity in you. And to me, when you get more intense, everything about your game becomes better. And he has become more of a physical presence on the back end, you know, making it hard on guys and going into corners hard and knocking guys off pucks. But as a big, strong defenseman, that's got to be a part of his game.
Head coach Todd Richards talking after last night's overtime loss to the Washington Capitals. So the point streak sits at 8 straight games. The winning streak is over at 7 straight. Let's take a look at Twitter here at Bobby Mack Sports and see what you got for me very quickly. Jody says, even though we lost last night, positive we got a point and keep that streak alive. And it's really, again, that's the way you have to look at it, because what else do you have to hang your hat on for that one last night? You do get the point for it. You are 7 behind the Capitals instead of 8 behind the Capitals. So that's, you know, you take what you can get. There's no question. Jed Coughlin III says, any news on Brian Gibbons, or is he fine after last night's injury? I haven't gotten an update on him at this time, Jed, to give you that. So I'm not so sure. But again, it's you know, it's disappointing, but it's not the end of the world, right? With this thing. Well, now you've got the Chicago Blackhawks coming in here tomorrow, and the Chicago Blackhawks are always a challenge. They are one of the elite teams in the National Hockey League. You're going to have a hard time with them. Everybody knows that. There's no doubt about that. They come into the game tomorrow, and they're here today. They came in. They're going to have a little practice today. But when you look at the Western Conference, you find them actually sitting at number 2 with 45 points behind the Anaheim Ducks, who have 49 points. They're only 1 point better than St. Louis right now, but they are 22-9-1 coming into the game. And again, always dangerous when you can throw out guys like Sharp and Kane and Tays and Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook. And, you know, they're a team where it doesn't even matter who the goalie is. They find a way to win. They can put up a lot of goals. They're very offensively dynamic, and they are tough to play against. The Blue Jackets will have their work cut out for them tomorrow night. That's a 7 o'clock start right here at Nationwide Arena. One of 2 games remaining before the Christmas break. The other is on Monday against Nashville. Again, they're all right here. Blue Jackets in a homestand right now with a chance to pick up points on home ice. All right, they continue to get ready for our holiday ugly sweater luncheon, ugly Christmas sweater luncheon over here. And that's what Jody Shelley and I are going to MC a little bit later on. I'm going to head down and find Jody right now. He's probably been looking for me forever because he misses me so. In any event, we are going to go put together a little Christmas piece for you that you'll be able to find here in the next couple of days at BlueJackets.com. We'll get some of the players involved. Jody's got some ideas, and we're going to go find a way to execute those ideas. So thanks for tuning in to CBJ in 30 for this Friday. Again, tomorrow, the Chicago Blackhawks are here. 7 o'clock start at Nationwide Arena. You know, Santa's chair is pretty comfy right here. I don't mind it, although I better get out before he sees me, because he'll know I'm naughty, not nice.